Hello! Welcome to Bloodhouse, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkle.
And I'm your car fucking co-hostess, Drusilla Adeline. Welcome back to another episode.
Hooray!
Huzzah indeed.
Huzzah. How are you? What's going on?
I'm fine. I've been in a bit of a funk the past week.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bit of a breakdown this past week, but I'm back. I can speak in coherent sentences, and I am no longer drooling on the floor.
Drusilla, something is in the air. Something astrologically is happening. I don't know what it is, but I was fully in sweatpants and on the verge of tears for a solid week.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what I've been going through some stuff in my personal life, and that's been really heavy and stressful, and some kind of weird parallels came up in a different part of my life, and that was just very stressful. And then they all came to a head this past week, and I kind of just broke, like big time broke. And then I had to take a few days to put my pieces back together. But even as soon as I started feeling better again and started doing great things again, then all of a sudden my dreams were no way in hell. And I've been having vicious nightmares recently too. So it's just I don't know. Psychically, I'm not old there.
Yeah.
But
I feel similarly. Yeah, same sort of scenario. I'm sure the circumstances are quite different. And we don't have to bore the listener with our clinical depression. Have you watched anything good?
Yeah, I mean, so since the last time we recorded, Kenneth Anger, queer, spiritual, and filmmaking icon, and satanic icon, passed away. So I watched a bunch of Kenneth Anger shorts, and showed them to my partner because she'd never seen any. And so the morning that I think I got a text from you saying that Kenneth Anger had passed away, and that morning before I went to work, we literally got Portos, pulled up Kenneth Anger shorts on YouTube, and just watched 5 of them.
Yeah.
And it was just so good for my body and for my soul, but good God, do I not know how to live in a world without Kenneth Anger.
He was so incredible. Such a unique and single, artist, and so influential. Worked over, he was almost 100 years old. If anyone earned their rest, it's Kenneth Anger. But it is a loss for the rest of us, for sure.
It's also a huge loss for young 20-something tweaks coming into Los Angeles hoping to find an elderly filmmaking sugar daddy, because he will no longer fill that role.
Yeah. Which ones did you watch?
Invocation of My Dream Brother. We watched Custom Car Commandos. We watched Lucifer Rising. It was a really nice morning, and I since then I've been I need to buy these. It's weird that I don't own these movies. I need to go out and buy the Magic Lantern Cycle, which only available in the UK. So,
oh really?
Time to import. This week has been punctuated by a lot of conversations with my partner of we should why don't I own that movie? We should watch that movie. And then looking up to find that a recent movie is not available.
Listen, it all goes back to this writer's strike Hollywood moment stuff where digital shit is disappearing. They've fed us this bill of goods that, the streaming era promised, that we would have everything that's ever been made at our fingertips. And it turns out the opposite is true. So you better stop hoarding that physical media while you can.
Well, even part of that, we were talking about, there's a movie from a few years ago that we both love that's super funny and weird called Greener Grass. Have you seen it?
No, but my friend Christian saw it when it came out and really loved it. I think someone was telling me a lot about it.
You would adore it. It is the cross section between David Lynch and John Waters.
Ugh, I did. It's idyllic.
very funny, very weird. And we were talking about how much we loved it, and I was like, it's weird that I don't have that. I should go, like, grab a physical copy. I remember it was put out. The Blu-ray's out of print already after 2 years. And so I had to, like, scrounge around on eBay to find one that wasn't insanely expensive. And then we were just having a conversation last night about Benedetta as well. And I was like, yeah, weird I don't own Benedetta yet. I should go out and buy Benedetta. And the only release that's available in the US is, like, a Blu-ray that, like, removes the nipple from the poster, so it's just a breast that has no nipple on it.
That's bizarre.
Meanwhile, like, the only, like, UHD version is in England, so I'm gonna have to again, like, import something from England. We were also talking about Dinner in America, an incredible movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
So it's a punk rock coming of age romance. Very much in the spirit of Todd Solondz.
Kyle Gallner is in that?
Kyle Gallner is in it. It is super funny. It is super cute. And it's streaming on Hulu at the moment. And I love it. And I was gifted a physical copy of it from Arrow Video when I would work with them, that they had put out in the UK. And I was talking with my partner about it and how much when we had watched it together, she had loved it too. And I was like, well, let me look to see if there's a US version, and I can, like, give it to you, so it's not region locked, and you can watch it. It's never been released on disc in America.
Yeah, I'd heard that before.
What in fuck? Still, like, it got a limited theatrical release, and it's on Hulu, but you can't in America. You cannot own that movie on disc without a foreign region player.
Awful.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
So I don't understand why these companies can't offer print-on-demand Blu-rays, if nothing else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Warner Archive did that for ages, where if you wanted a copy of, like, Urghh, A Music War, or whatever their obscure title was, you could just order it from a website, they'd print it for you and send it to you. It feels like they could do that at least. At least the big studios.
There's also, like, A24 movies that aren't on disc. Funny Pages, that I did the poster for, you can't buy on physical media in the United States.
Ugh, what a time.
What a time to be alive.
Such a bummer.
Such a bummer. Have you watched anything good, Josh?
No, to be honest. I mean, I've been watching, I finished Somebody Somewhere, which I talked about last week. And I started I Think You Should Leave by, the Tim Robinson sketch comedy show that I know that we both adore. I think Patty Harrison is maybe the funniest person on earth at this current moment.
She is. Oh, yeah.
She's so funny.
She's the rat mom.
Yeah, the rat mom, exactly. That's such that show, like, it's very short. It's about 20 minutes tops per episode. I can only watch 2 of them because it hurts my brain so much. Something about it, even though it's sketch comedy, it really is, like, it makes me think or something. Like, it's, like, hard to watch them.
I have a friend who watches that show with me, and I was just out with her yesterday at an estate sale. And my partner and I had already, like, binged through the most recent season, and we were talking with her about it, and she was like, I know I've watched it, but every time I watch that show, I, like, get so frustrated and lose my mind watching it that I don't remember the sketches until I've watched them a second time.
It's like free association, basically. It's so weird that it's like every sketch, you think you know what it's going to do, but it does something completely different. I don't know, so I've been watching that, but what I really want to talk about, and you're going to feel some type of way about this, I know. But I'm reading a book that especially while I was depressed this week, all I wanted to do was, like, live inside of this book. And the book is The Shards by Bret, Easton, Ellis, which is the new Bret book. And I actually really like his books. I know that as a person, he's kind of a jerk. But this book is so fucking good. I can't believe it. It's set in 1981 in Los Angeles, and it's kind of autofiction, so it's actually about his real teen years, except that he inserts this fictional story about a serial killer called the Trawler that's, like, plaguing his high school. And it's just all 80s vibes of like him driving around Los Angeles and all of the new wave songs that he's listening to on K-Rock and going to the Galleria. And it's actually very frightening. And it's just like what he's good at. He's doing again for the first time in a long time because he hasn't written a novel in 12 years. So this is like Less Than Zero meets American Psycho. And I just like, I cannot put it down. I just want to keep reading it. I think there's going to be an HBO miniseries of it is what I think I read. But I know that you don't like him as a person, and I totally get that, and I feel similarly. But God, he's such a good writer.
Yeah, he sucks big time. But I saw someone at my office with this on their desk recently, and I was like, "Oh, is there a Bret Easton Ellis book I haven't heard of? Weird." And then, oh, he has a new one.
It's incredible. It's
very
bizarre.
Incredible.
And I guess he did it as like an audio drama in 2020. That's how it started. Like in little chapters once a week, you could get another section of it. But fuck, it's good. I just like, I want to live in 1981's LA so badly.
I know.
There's a part where he talks about going to the movies, and the movies that are playing are like An American Werewolf in London, Hell Night. It's just like, it's so weird.
Oh my God. I really should read this. I love the cover of the paperback.
Yeah.
Which is like an image of a male body like submerged in water.
It is
a little bit.
It is chunky. It's 600 pages, but it just is so immersive. You feel like you're living in it. And if you don't want to read it, what I will say is that some good citizen has done a playlist on Spotify where every song that he mentions by name is on this playlist. And it's like such a good new wave playlist. It's just like 5 stars.
100% vibe. I need that. I do need a good new wave playlist right now. Oh my God.
It's really good. So I know that he's not a nice person, but God, he's such a good writer. And this book is so good. I cannot recommend it highly enough.
Good. I haven't had a good novel to like sink my fangs into in a long time. Yeah. And I've been like back and forth on a few books that I've been like in the middle of for the past like 3 years, I feel like.
Yeah. And it's long, but it's not challenging. It's like, it's like on a line by line level. It's a really easy read. It's like drinking a soda or something. I love it.
I love describing someone's prose as like drinking a soda.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that so much.
Yeah. Anyway, shall we?
Let's shall.
Okay. This is a movie that I somehow had not seen, mostly because we have this podcast, and I knew that I would have to watch it for the podcast one day. And I say that as if I didn't want to watch it. I did want to watch it. I was the one who picked it, in fact. But we finally got around to it. From 2021, this is the French horror film by Julia Ducournau, Titane.
Once again, we are completing a filmmaker's filmography.
Year 2 of Bloodhouse, we're completing people's filmography. We also covered her film Raw with special guest Zelda Adams last year, early on in the podcast. So you should go back and listen to that. And here we are covering her second film, Titane, which won the Palme d'Or at Cannes in 2021. Big deal.
The first female director to win the Palme d'Or since The Piano in like crazy. 1992.
Yeah, I think it said that she's only the second woman to win, too. Yeah,
Jane
second
Campion.
female.
Yep.
Second female to win the Palme d'Or, the festival's top award, as well as the first filmmaker to win solo. I don't really know what that means. Did Jane Campion share that award, I guess?
I think that year it was tied.
Oh, okay.
It went to 2 different films.
Got it. She also won a BAFTA. She was shortlisted for the Oscar, but didn't make the... She longlisted for the Oscar, rather, but didn't make the shortlist, which is a bummer. I think she really deserved it. But it just goes to speak about that thing about how Oscars don't give awards to horror films, basically, ever. So
yeah, fuck no. There's no way the Oscars were going to recognize Titane.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't see... I mean, it came out in 2021, which was 2 years ago. obviously we were deep in pandemic at that point. I did really want to see this. I just never got around to it. And then we started this podcast on Valentine's Day 2022. And I thought, well, now I'll have to watch it for the podcast. So I'll just wait till that moment comes. And I'm glad I did because I loved it. I assume that you're a fan of this movie too, based on what I know about you in this movie now.
Yeah, I mean, I like this movie, but I think I like it. I think I like Raw more, and I think I like David Cronenberg's Crash more.
Mm-hmm.
I think Titane is a very interesting movie that was marketed one way and is actually a different movie.
I prefer this to Raw, which I also really liked. So, you know, it's like, it's a close call. And I did think about David Cronenberg's Crash a lot for obvious reasons that I'm sure we'll get into. And in fact, I was like, God, this would make such an interesting double feature with Crash. 2 movies about people who fuck cars, basically. Yeah, I guess I'll just give a quick synopsis. This movie follows a young woman named Alexia, who as a child got into a bad car accident, which required her to get titanium plate in her head. Titane is the French word for titanium. But mostly we're following her as a young woman in her 20s. She's an exotic dancer at car shows, which is like a very specific thing to this movie. You know, she seems to be somewhat famous for this, like men want to get her autograph and things like that. But she also fucks cars, which is hard to explain unless you've seen it. She like really fucks a lowrider at night in a warehouse.
She gets in the back seat. She wraps her arms around the seatbelts on either side and then humps away in the car.
Yeah. And it's seems to be pretty good sex. And she becomes pregnant by the car. Now she's also a serial killer. And eventually we find her on the lam because the police are closing in. So she changes her appearance to take over the identity of a boy who went missing 10 years prior. That boy's father comes to collect her and takes her home to the firehouse where he lives with other firemen. And it all kind of intensifies from there. She's concealing her identity, pretending to be this missing boy now as an adult 10 years later, and hiding her pregnancy from a car. Anything that you wish to add or amend?
I mean, that's more or less it.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting psychosexual look at masculinity.
Yeah. And
yeah, which is not what I was expecting from this movie when I first saw it.
Yeah. There's also something about like the fluidity of gender, I guess, but you're right. There is something about her experiencing life as a man and as like an outsider, as like an impartial observer, because she goes to this firehouse where there's all these really great, like sort of gay coded fireman dance parties that happen to like future islands, you know, like.
Well, it's in direct contrast to all the like car shows that she would dance at the beginning. You now have all the firefighters in the firehouse around the trucks, dancing and having a good time there.
What are these car shows? Like, let's start at the beginning. Like, it's such a weird, specific culture that I'm not sure exists really. But there's like all of these hot cars in a big showroom. And then there are these beautiful women dancing in and on them. And people just kind of walking around looking at them. So it is like a horned up version of what a real car show is. And then later, a man comes to her car asking for her autograph and says like, oh, I saw you last year at a boat show. So it feels like, this isn't real, right? Like this, where does this exist? Not that it matters. I just thought it was like such an interesting choice.
I mean, it feels like something that would exist, but it's living somewhere in between the like Midwest like annual car show down at the Civic Center. Come on down, bring your kids.
Right, that's what a real car show is like.
It's somewhere between that and then like Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, like illegal street racing.
Yeah,
it's somewhere in between those to the point that I'm like, I buy this, sure.
Yeah,
because it feels like club kid culture in France. that they're all very proud of their cars, and they're showing them off, and then they're paying very hot women to dance lewdly on the cars to make people seem more interested in them or something. It just feels like a place where people are doing a lot of drugs and being assholes.
Yeah, it's kind of like a car show meets a nightclub.
Yeah. And I would like to go at least one time for the oddity of it.
It's a very Drusilla coded event in place.
Fair.
Me, as somebody who doesn't like cars and is not sexually attracted to women, I was like, this event offers me nothing except a trip out of the house, I guess.
As someone who's highly sexually attracted to women and loves cars, yeah, fair. But Alexia is all. I mean, we can get into the gender aspects of Alexia later, because I think a good portion of that is hinted at in this section of the movie. But yeah, she's like a serial killer.
Yeah, she murders people by sticking them in the ear with the chopstick she pulls out of her hair.
Yeah, she has her hair up in a bun that is held together with like a steel, or I guess titanium, chopstick, and she stabs them.
Oh my god, the chopstick thing. So it really took me back, because in the 90s, wearing chopsticks in your hair was like a really big trend for girls. And in fact, my Tolo date one year, I could get this person so canceled if I said her name, because Tolo was like Sadie Hawkins, where the girls asked the boys, and our photos, this was very in style at the time and very normal, but there was a moment in the 90s where like Asian style silk dresses were very popular.
Oh yes.
And so this girl wore one of those and had chopsticks in her hair. She was white. And that's like our Tolo photos. And it was not at all controversial at the time. And the culture has changed very much since the 1990s. But that's what the chopstick in the hair reminded me of.
It was also making me think of Killing Eve.
Yes.
Which, great show until it's
Love
not. And has Eve definitely kills a few people that way, and a way that I adore.
Eve is like one of the most likable serial killers of all time.
Oh, she's so good.
She's
I love
so
her
good.
so much. She's baby.
Yeah, she is baby.
Alexia is not. Alexia is very cold and detached.
Yeah.
She lives with other people. It seems like.
She lives with her parents. Right?
Yeah, she lives with her parents. And is also just like going, living the nightclub life and like visiting other people and to presumably hook up with and do some drugs with, and just kills them.
Yeah, I was really into that performance. The actress's name, I don't know if I'm saying this right, is Agatha Roussel. And this is her first starring role in a feature film. I mean, she'd done some shorts and stuff, but she was actually a journalist and model. She founded a feminist magazine. So she's done a lot of like cool journalism things, and she's a model. She's really good in this, I thought.
Yeah, I think she's incredible in this movie. It's like,
I love when models are good at acting. Like, remember when, what's her name, who's in Monster?
Charlize Theron?
Yes, Charlize
Yes.
Theron. Like, she was just like this fashion model who just like wanted to be an actor, and then there she is in Monster, which I haven't seen.
I didn't know that
since it came
Charlize
out.
Theron was a model at first. Oh my god.
Yeah. She was like a high fashion model and then changed role. I mean, I don't know. Models are so often good at acting, it seems, but I don't know if I'm making that up.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. I miss
Shelby
Cameron
Dean.
Diaz. Yeah.
Cameron Diaz is back.
Is she? What's she in?
She's she announced that she's unretiring and she's doing a project with Jamie Foxx
That's great.
or something. Yeah. I love Cameron Diaz
Love her
so much. Anyway, yes, Agatha Roussel is phenomenal in this performance, and it's a really complex character, and it's a really complex performance.
Totally. She doesn't have a lot of dialogue, but that doesn't, I mean, it doesn't matter. She's giving she's giving so much, and so much is required of the role. I was particularly upset so the moment she changes her identity, she's on the lam from the police. She sees a digital sign that has missing posters of children from 10 years ago, sees a boy named Adrian, goes to the bathroom, shaves her head, and breaks her own nose against the sink so that it'll be a different shape. And it really got under me. I mean, there's a lot that gets under the skin from this movie, but that was the first moment where I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. It's so good.
That scene is so fucking rough, and you're just kind of like sitting in it for as long as it takes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, and so like 20 minutes into this movie, maybe 30 minutes into this movie, this happens, and it becomes like a changeling narrative at this point.
Yeah.
Of her passing herself off as Adrian, as this boy. And it's just accepted.
Yeah.
Like instantaneously.
Yeah, well, so this man, Vincent, who's like a fire captain, comes to collect her because she's pretending to be his missing son. So, like, in the intervening 10 years, his marriage has fallen apart. You know, he's been grieving his lost son. And there's an open question for the majority of the movie about whether or not he knows this isn't really his son, or if he's just so desperate and needs someone so badly that he's willing to pretend it's his son, or if it's something in between that's stranger. It's really good. That feels like a stupid limiting thing to say, but it's just like, it's really interesting that question is like one of the more interesting aspects of the movie to me.
It's never fully answered one way or another, but it's heavily implied that like it kind of flows through and changes with the movie. That initially it's kind of more suggested that through his grief and through all of these years of waiting, as soon as he sees anyone, he's going to accept this person presented to him as his son. And then he's going to do everything he can to make sure that this is his son, and just immediately toss him into the fire station and all that kind of stuff.
Right, make him be a firefighter.
Yeah. And then as it progresses, he kind of stops caring and just starts accepting anyone and just having a son. I think it's less who it is. And for me, that reads to me, along with the like fluidity of gender in this, as like a trans acceptance by a parent, which I think is beautiful and lovely. But we should talk about the gender presentation of Agatha Drusilla's character in this movie, because it's interesting.
Well, right, because she's actually not trans. She's on the run. So during all of this, she is binding to become Adrienne, not just her breasts, but her rapidly growing pregnant body.
Which is one of the harder aspects of the movie to watch.
Yes. And the whole pregnancy is so upsetting because she's pregnant by a car, right? So she's like leaking motor fuel from her vagina and her nipples. And it's really fucked up. It's really quite something. And I didn't know that was part of the movie. And I was like, my boyfriend Joel was watching it with me. And when she fucks the lowrider at the car show, I was like, what if she becomes pregnant? Like, ha ha ha. That was what the movie was. So
somewhere Julia Ducournau was like, yes, ha ha ha.
Ah oui.
You think this is funny? This happened to my sister. All right, okay.
So what do you think about the gender presentation here?
I think it's really interesting because her, as Alexia, how we meet her initially, this idea of her as like extremely feminine, high, like super sexy, like dancing on cars and like luring men and all this stuff, feels more performative than when she's binding.
Yeah, I bet
later in the movie, like a lot. It feels like a persona she puts on, and Adrienne is also a persona that she puts on. but it's a persona that she like slowly and inadvertently finds herself comfortable in.
Yeah.
Where it feels like she's constantly bucking up against this expectation and presentation of her as Alexis at the beginning. That's my read of this movie. It's not explicitly a like one-to-one. This is a trans male movie. No. But it's a mask movie.
It's dancing in that.
It's dancing in that, and it's a non-binary movie. Like, which is a trans movie. Like,
it's interesting too because we get like kind of gender affirming care elsewhere in the movie too. So like her quote unquote father, Vincent, is like he's an older man, maybe in his late 50s or so, and he's like muscle bound, and we see him like taking testosterone in the butt every night, and he's got bruises there and stuff. So he's like doing sort of like gender affirming care for himself too in a way, and but he's like also reaching for masculinity in these ways that are like chemical, or I don't know what I'm saying.
But yeah, I mean, like he is taking hormone replacement therapy himself, despite the fact that he is a cisgendered man, which is a thing that people fucking do.
Oh, I have to tell you, Drew, I mean, as a man in my 40s, Instagram is constantly serving me ads for testosterone treatment. Like, I get them all day, every day.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because lose your hair faster. That'll be great.
Yeah. Get zits on my back. And stuff like that, just to be, like, a little bit buffer. It's fine.
Yeah. And he is, like, upsettingly buff. Like, he looks like Iggy Pop level lumpy. No shade to Vincent Lidon or Iggy Pop, but lumpy.
Yeah.
It's very, very weird. I remember when this movie came out, a friend of mine had gone to see it, and before I did, I wasn't able to see it in theaters, and she had told me that she was like, yeah, the dad's really hot in this, and I was like, what? And I remember watching it and seeing, like, the dad of the family at the beginning that she lives with, and I was like, not really, I don't know. And then we get to Vincent Lidon, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That's what you were talking about? Go to hell. No.
Well, I mean, it is the masculine ideal, right? Like, you know, super muscular, kind of like Tarzan body.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are into older men. I mean, for all of these conversations about age gaps, you have to just chalk it up to, like, some people really are horned up by older people. It's just
it's a preference thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that Agatha Roussel is just tossed into this like stew of masculinity in this firehouse, which also a fucking firehouse.
Yeah, totally.
Come on. Those are like, I like that being the presentation of where do the most manly men work. Because it's both working on cars, because they have to work on the fire trucks, and you know, being a public servant and doing all that kind of like cop stuff, but also running into burning buildings every fucking day. And they just live with because firefighters have to like live in the firehouse when they're on shift.
Yep.
So they're just dudes living together, and like
it's really funny because at night they have these like raves essentially where there's a beautifully filmed segment where they're like dancing to this Future Islands, which is a band I really love, song. And I do. Why are you laughing at me liking Future Islands?
I don't even know who that is, and like I think that's very awesome and cute that of course it would be something that's like right up your alley.
Oh, I love that band. They're a Baltimore band. So they're listening to this Future Island song, and it's filmed in slow motion, and it's got this sort of bisexual lighting, and it's just men, these firefighters, like dancing and drinking beers and smoking cigarettes. And it's just so beautifully filmed. It's almost like Kenneth Anger, or you know what I mean? Or like one of those who's the other ones? Derek Jarman, kind of. Yeah. It's kind of got that vibe almost.
It's got a really nice, like, gentle homoerotic, like, look at men, look at cars. Look at men, look at cars.
Yeah, totally. It's like Tom of Finland level of, like, iconic masculinity.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually, of course, she decides to dance with them.
And for
on fire
them,
trucks. And for them,
she gets on a fire truck and starts doing the dances that she used to do as a female erotic dancer, which confuses and repulses all of them because it's like effeminate. And of course, her quote unquote dad, Vincent, walks into the space to see this and sends everyone away and is ashamed and confused at first.
Well, because there's also like a sort of sexual tension between her and Vincent.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like a great and weird scene where he's kind of drunk and he tries to make her slow dance with him in this like sexy romantic way, even though she's his son. It's very off-putting.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, there's questions of like, is this the way that he treated his son before the son disappeared? Also, what actually happened to the son?
Yeah, and there's more stuff like that too. I'm glad you reminded me because also his son was like 10 when he disappeared or whatever, like as like a child. But there's a scene where Alexia is alone in her room at the firehouse, and she goes into the closet and finds like a yellow sunflower dress that belonged to Adrian's mother. And puts it on, and then Vincent comes in and she tries to hide in the closet, but he finds her, and then he's like happy and laughs and then shows her a photo of Adrian as a child wearing that dress. So like it seemed like maybe there was something queer or trans about Adrian because he liked to dress up in his mom's dresses, and now so is this version of Adrian. So it kind of confirms to Vincent that this is in fact his son. It's very strange.
So interesting.
Yeah.
I think part of the reason that I like this movie a lot, but I don't love it, is because it presents a lot of these ideas that I find like really interesting and really exciting. And it doesn't even remotely provide answers to them, which I like a lot in a very like pick and hang it rock sense. But also it does a lot of other things in lieu of providing those answers that we'll get to in a minute, i.e. car pregnancy.
There is
that I'm like, okay.
There is I don't think that this is malicious or mean-spirited, but there is a gender essentialist read of this movie because I'm just thinking this through now, so bear with me. Alexia is pregnant by this car and is having a very dangerous, difficult pregnancy. She changes genders, not because she's trans, but because she's running from the police. But she enters this life of men and this masculinity. But spoiler alert, she's still undone by her biological body at the end. You know, she does die as a result of this pregnancy. And so there's something gender essentialist about that.
Yeah, if you read it as a transmasc movie, the pregnancy is there to kind of be like, but you could never be a man.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm trying to dance around, I guess.
Yeah.
Although trans men get pregnant all the time, so
they do. Trans men get pregnant all the time, and they're still men, and they survive.
Yeah,
they are happy fathers. That kind of might also be one of the things that sits in the back of my throat with this movie that I'm also just like.
And again,
I know it's not the intention of the film.
Right. It doesn't feel mean-spirited. I would be surprised if Julia Ducournau felt that way as a person and with politics. You know, I just can't imagine her having those kind of J.K. Rowling Turf Island politics. So it feels like accidental or not the intention in some way to me.
Yeah, but it feels... I think that's part of the other reason why this movie, is something that I like but I don't love, is because it plays with these ideas of gender, and it plays with gender nonconformity and the idea of gendered performance, and suggesting that the idea of gender transition. But it doesn't say anything really strong either way on that. It feels like it's discussing cisgender femininity through this. It feels like it has more to say about the way women are raised and treated, and that women don't have to be brought into specific boxes of being presented this way and presenting themselves in one way or another, and of like breaking down gendered expectations
Yeah.
of boys and girls and things like that, which is fair and fine. But like, I don't know.
When you talked earlier about how she sort of becomes more herself by transitioning, I wonder if there's any element of this that's like, you know, about the expectations that are placed on women and the way that we socialize women. I wonder if there's any element of this that's saying like she becomes more free by becoming a man in some way.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, because she becomes a man to escape the law. It loses all homicidal tendencies.
Yeah.
As Adrian. She's not like...
That's true.
Trying to murder anyone. Meanwhile, the little bit of time that we got with her at the beginning, she was just like hacking and slashing at the drop of a hat.
That a bit of a shallow assertion, I guess, because men are also the victims of patriarchy. Being a man in our society is incredibly oppressive, which this movie kind of deals with a little bit, but like, it's not a picnic for men either. Like,
no,
we're all victims of patriarchy.
And I think that's also something that the movie's getting at in terms of how the father is presented, that like, and how he treats her as Adrian too is not great. And the fact that he's like he's taking these testosterone shots to like continue beefing up his body is not fucking great. And the way the like men in the firehouse treat him is not great. And like,
I guess the movie does deal with that stuff too. You're right.
It does a little bit, but it is, I mean, I feel like this movie is using a lot of like trans visual language to talk about cisgender views on gender.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd buy that.
Which I think is fine at best, lame at worst.
Yeah.
I mean, from my readings and from my friends that are transmasc, they love this movie. So I've yet to meet a transmasc individual who doesn't relate to and or enjoy Titane. I don't think any of them love it. No one's saying that this is like, you know, a replacement for better movies that are explicitly trans, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's ideas of gender that are opened up for discussion by this movie, but not commented on. You know what I mean?
I do. I understand what you mean. I guess I agree with that. I also don't know that I feel like a movie has to have a stance necessarily.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's just something that I find, I don't know, a little... it's part of the thing that makes me not return to it as often as I return to Raw or Crash, is that for me, these are very personal ideas and concepts and like up to the minute like political stuff even that I would like to see explored in depth, and it's nice and cool to present them in a kind of like lighter touch way to discuss a different aspect of the human body and of experience. But I don't know. I personally would like more.
How do you think this movie will age?
Very interesting. I don't know.
It's hard to predict the future.
It's very, very hard. But again, something that's interesting to me is that since it came out, it got a lot of buzz before it came out. A lot of people were talking about it. It finally got released stateside by Neon. It didn't get a long theatrical release, but a lot of people saw it around then, and people talked about it after the fact. I don't hear anyone talking about it anymore.
I will say, as a person who manages our email and our Twitter, we do get a lot of requests for it. It's like one of the ones that we more often than other movies, we get people like saying, "Do Titane."
Okay.
So I will say
well, I don't hear people that frequently discussing it in like casual conversation, and the way that I don't know, other like, I feel like Tangerine, an explicitly trans film, gets brought up like verbally in conversation around other films quite frequently, and I feel like Cronenberg's Crash still gets brought up quite frequently. But there was also a long time when Crash wasn't talked about for years.
Right, they just got it's got a release, right? So like, I think things come in and out of the conversation, sort of. Do you know what? This is like kind of off topic, but do you know what I was realizing people never talk about anymore? That was like such a moment in horror, is I feel like no one ever talks about Cabin in the Woods. Remember, like, it was such a big moment.
It was such a big moment. I think we're kind of over Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
I think
that's
we're
what I mean,
over
right?
metatextual Joss Whedon films. Yeah. I just vividly remember when Cabin in the Woods came out, no one I knew was into horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I was only dipping my toe into it. And my parents were recently divorced, and my dad was going on dates for the first time in like 30 years or something like that. And I remember being like in the car with him, and him being like, I went on a date the other night, and I saw the worst movie I've ever seen. And I was like, what was it? And he was like, Cabin in the Woods. It was just so stupid. And I was like,
that's such a fun movie, though.
Okay. And then like a month later, me and all my friends watched it like together, and we're like, this is incredible.
Yeah. I just wonder if this movie will suffer someday some sort of like Rocky Horror Picture like, some people now are talking about how Rocky Horror Picture Show is transphobic, which I can understand in a way, but it's also the most celebratory, joyously queer movie for like decades and decades and decades. So like, I don't know. I just wonder if people will ever react in some weird kind of way to this, like they do that.
I mean, I don't think the Rocky Horror Picture Show is transphobic.
Well, because it's not. But
because it's not. But I think in the year of our Lord 2020, 2019, or whatever, casting a drag queen to play Frankenfurter is transphobic, but that's a different thing. Because that's something they did on Fox.
Wait, they cast Laverne Cox, right?
Oh, they cast Laverne Cox?
Yeah, no, it was a trans woman.
I didn't know that. I've only heard that they had like Bob the Drag Queen do it a few years ago.
Oh, really?
On like live stuff and a few other.
Oh, the live, like the big live one was Laverne Cox, which I didn't see, so I don't know how
fucking awesome
good she was or not. But yeah,
hell yeah. I mean, I did not watch that because, but like, why would you watch?
Listen,
that?
Like, I know this is a movie that you hate. For example, I haven't seen it since it came out, but like, Boys Don't Cry is a movie that
has aged like milk.
Exactly. So I just wonder if like something like that we can't expect or predict will happen to Titane or not.
It's possible. I mean, I think in the same way that like Silence of the Lambs has also aged poorly, because Silence of the Lambs uses the visual language of trans experience to talk about cisgendered female experience.
Yeah.
And gendered expectations of cisgender women. So it's possible. I don't think Titane is transphobic. I am not going to call Titane transphobic, but I'm also not going to call Titane a trans film. Like, explicitly. I mean, it is a gender non-conforming film, which in one way is a trans film, but I don't think, in terms of its visual presentation of its characters, but I don't think thematically that it's a trans film. I think thematically it's about cisgender womanhood.
Yeah. And like
based
gender
on
expectations. And...
Yeah, based on the like ways that it depicts her character before and the way that it depicts the father's character, and from what we know about Julia Ducournau and from her previous films. That is my reading of it. But that's just whatever.
Julia Ducournau has real daddy issues.
Julia Ducournau has big daddy issues. The dad in Raw and the dad in Titane need to get together for like a counseling group.
Anything else to say about this before we move on?
I think it's almost great, but pretty dang good. And I don't know, if you think it's transphobic, please tell me why.
Yeah, let
Or
us
if
know.
you're a trans dude and you're like, no, this movie's my experience, fuck yeah, and tell me why.
Yeah, we'd love to hear. We do have trans dude listeners, so reach out. Let us know.
Hell yeah.
So let's play Have They Seen It, the game where we speculate wildly whether notable figures have seen this movie. I've got someone in mind. She's French. Her name is Catherine Deneuve. Do you think Catherine Deneuve has seen Titane?
I feel like Catherine Deneuve...
I mean, it won Palme d'Or.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like Catherine Deneuve saw it at Cannes, or after it won the Palme d'Or, she was like, zut alors, a female director wins the Palme d'Or, and watched it and just like sat there smoking a cigarette for the entire run of the movie, and hated it.
I feel like she would hate it, and she would be like, why do these young women no longer want to be female? They do not want to be feminine.
or I could see Captain Deneuve loving it for the exact reason that you just mentioned earlier, of being like, oh, see, she could never be a man. God. Never ask a French woman her age or her politics.
Exactly.
Well, from discussing transphobia and transmasc readings of films, here's a transmasc person who's also a transphobe.
Oh, no. I know you're going to say, go on.
Do you think Buck Angel has seen Titane?
Absolutely. I think so. I think he's seen it. I think he would like it. But I don't know why. I mean, for the wrong reasons, probably. And I'm not an expert on why people hate Buck Angel, so I just know that he is not liked in the trans community. And I only have a vague sense of who he is to begin with, but
he's a trans misogynist. He like outs trans people, and he is very like conservative essentialist. Like, we should just try to be as like normal as possible so the cis-hets like us, and like really, really, really bad, really, really, really dangerous, has been advocating for like transphobic laws and like...
So strange. I mean, even Buck Angel's like an adult film star originally, right? Like, you're never going to be accepted by cis-het society, even based on that, let alone being trans. Like, those things compounding one another, it's like, forget about it.
They will use you as a puppet to say the things they want you to say, and then they will treat you as terribly as they treat the rest of us.
Yeah.
It infuriates me. There's a lot of, like, online trans, like, quote-unquote celebs that use their entire platform to be like, but not me, right?
Right. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner is kind of one of those people too, right? Where she's like a literally a Republican politician.
Yeah. They're not gonna like you, honey.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I feel like Buck Angel like loves the dad in this movie.
Oh,
he sees himself in the dad in this movie.
100%.
Like
100%.
shepherding young trans men, and like mourning their deaths while stabbing them in the gut.
So I don't know what made me think of this person. I guess Rocky Horror Picture Show. Do you think Richard O'Brien has seen Titane?
God, I feel like he hasn't yet. I feel like Richard O'Brien hasn't seen a movie that was a new release since 2006. I feel like he's just living in some kind of a lair in the West End of London.
No, he lives in rural New Zealand.
He what?
Yeah, I found out he lived in New Zealand when I lived there in 2013. He lives in either Hamilton or Nelson, which are basically like living in Spokane, Washington. like smaller cities in New Zealand. Yeah.
Good for him. That's awesome.
Yeah. And originally he is a Kiwi, which I didn't know. He was born in New Zealand.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. I just feel like he's like shacked up somewhere just like rewatching Hammer movies, but I could
Safe
be entirely incorrect.
It's just New Zealand and not West London.
Yeah. Or like, I mean, I feel like he's also probably just sitting around watching a bunch of Jean Cocteau like French art films.
Yeah.
But, like, he's still, like, I mean, Titane's French art film. He could be watching it.
I think he would like it.
I think he would like it a lot. I think
Yeah.
he would like the visual flair of it. I think I could honestly see him being like, it was good. I wanted more. I don't care about daddy issues. I don't know why my Richard O'Brien impression just sounds like the Monarch from Venture Brothers. I think that's something that Richard O'Brien has to figure out for himself.
He does kind of look like that character.
He does kind of. Oh my god, you're fucking right. So Vincent Lindon, who plays the daddy in this, has been in a lot of French movies for the past 30 years before obviously coming to Titane. One of which is one of my favorite French movies ever made. Mm-hmm. Betty Blue by Jean-Jacques Binet, which was the breakout role for an actress we've discussed on this podcast before, because she was in Trouble Every Day. Do you think Beatrice Dalle has seen Titane?
God, she's such a good actor. Yeah, I think so. Given that this is French, given that it won the Palme d'Or, I would say yes. And I think that she would like it.
Yeah, I think she would dig Titane, but I feel like I don't know, I feel like she would have some very weird takes about it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Well, I do know she posted a photo recently somewhere on the internet of like her hanging out with Kevin Spacey.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bold
move!
Yeah.
The French will just be like, oh, it's okay.
They would, yeah. And
I mean, they've been producing Roman Polanski movies for how long now?
Absolutely. I was just going to say, what's the name of that terrible man? I'm getting so old that I forget people's names. Who is the co-star of Trouble Every Day with her?
Oh my fucking god. I was just the Brown Bunny.
The Brown Bunny, exactly.
Yeah. What is Vincent
Gallo.
Vincent Gallo, yeah.
Do you think Vincent Gallo has seen Titane?
Oh, yes, and he hates it.
I think he would hate it.
I feel like Vincent Gallo has, like, if you get him drunk enough, will go on rants about how Titane is, like, misandrist, like, promoting the killing of men, and he's like, if I'd fucked her, she'd be like...
For sure. I mean, this is a man who sells his sperm on his website for, like, $100,000 or something.
One of the moments that made me... just fall like head over heels for the person that I'm dating is when we were hanging out and like almost unprompted was just like, you ever seen Buffalo 66? Fuck that movie. I could only get 5 minutes into it and I had to turn it off. Oh my fucking god. And I was like, okay.
I really loved that movie in high school, but in fairness, it was 1997 and I was 16 and I haven't seen it since then and I'm happy to leave it there.
He's so disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, I think that's it for this episode of Bloodhouse. If you liked this, please rate it wherever you listen to podcasts. You can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at bloodhousepod. Drusilla, where are you?
You can go find my work over at sisterhidedesign.com. There's new stuff up there. You can find the poster for Julio Torres' feature directorial debut, Problemista.
Can't wait to see that.
From A24. It's so fun with Isabella Rossellini and Tilda Swinton. I was so honored to be able to work on the poster for that. That's up on my website. More stuff is coming soon. You can also find me on Instagram at HideSister. And I'm occasionally on Twitter yelling at transphobes. Where are you, Josh?
Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Joshua Conkle. And, what's next week?
Next week, we are going to take a very pious trip out to the Great Salt Lake to see what's going on over that old Saltaire Pavilion as we watch Herc Harvey's American independent classic, Carnival of Souls.
Ooh la la.